It may well be half-time in what is our final series of the day. If this were basketball right now, what would Jeremy Lin be saying at half-time to his boys in Thunder? He'd be giving them a pep talk, I'm sure, which is exactly what their captain will be doing right now. ROTK will be screaming all the way down the hallways. They'll probably hear him in every other room to try and get his boys pumped up for game number 2. We don't need any pumping up here. We've got Nahaz and Fogged back on the desk, who equally get you ready for game number 2. Do VGJ just go out and do something crazy now for game 2 and just really try and catch Virtus.pro out? Or do you think actually there's just nuances, as Alan pointed out in that last game, they like the Lycan, but maybe get some more synergy, get something that works a bit better with some of the other picks? The Dazzle was a bit off last time. Do you want them to play safe, or do you want them to go nuts?
I think just by this team, I think they're going to play safe.
Yeah, so
I think
boring.
That's just the way that they play.
So boring.
That's their style. That's the way they play. Like you said, they played the most games on this patch. They're going to stick with their style.
And I think, and look, guys, come on. I think it'd be one thing if VP had just crushed them in game 1.
But it wasn't,
that was not a stomp, guys.
Well,
I don't think you look at that game as VGJ.Thunder and go, oh, holy shit, we've got to do something completely different.
Do you want me to turn him down a bit? I turned him up a bit.
You got it over there, right?
I'm sorry.
No, I mean,
we love it. We love it when you get passionate about it. You get into it. It's just a bit scary for Fogg. He's a bit like, whoa.
I do agree. You know, it wasn't as one-sided as we are making it to be, and you know, we did kind of be like, oh, this Dazzle, it wasn't great, but he actually is the reason that game went like that. His Graves and his Glimmer Capes are the reason that game actually prolonged for so long.
That's a good point.
We did kind of crap on the hero a bit, but he did have a good impact on it. So I think still, I did not like it in the opener though. I think having more catch, more team fight, I think that's probably like the bigger key to success.
It's not like it's going to get banned or anything, is it?
Yeah, like this lineup for me, I look at it and they have no team fight pretty much, and I think you need to have team fight versus VP if you want to have these type of games. They had our Spirit as their team fight in this game. It's very tough.
Draft is underway. Bans coming in, as you rightly pointed out, Alan. Or Fogged actually having pointed out, VGJ.Thunder have played 75 games in 707D. 75 games in 7D, which is crazy in comparison. The nearest competitor in this tournament is VG Gaming, who've played 46.
Well, that's look,
that's when you look at Na'Vi, Liquid, Virtus.pro. How many games Fogged have played on this patch?
Na'Vi, Liquid, Virtus.pro, very little. Like
how many collectively?
Oh, on this patch?
Yeah, 707D.
Oh,
how many?
They haven't played.
I don't think they've played a game.
0.
Okay,
that's right. I was going to be like, wait a minute. I don't think they have played.
Yeah, no, that's since
they
the
played
end of
0 coming into this tournament.
Because VP was what Summit was.
You talk about the number of matches, though.
It's crazy.
This was the secret to the. I mean, there's a reason that 3 out of the top 4 finishers at TI7 and 4 out of the top 6 were all Chinese teams.
Absolutely.
Like it's made a huge difference for the Chinese teams that they play a lot of games, and these regional or sort of in-house, if you will, leagues in China, like DPC, like
China Top,
they've China Top. Yeah, that's high-level Dota. These teams are getting a lot of reps. It's the heart of their season.
But also the qualifiers are absurd, aren't they? Whenever I see the qualifiers for these tournaments, I always go to the Chinese one because the depth is absurd. How would you get out of that region?
It is terrible.
That's right. Let's focus on this draft. It's a first pick Tiny for Virtus.pro.
They left Lycan and they took the Tiny. They didn't take the Lycan anyway. So last game they left Lycan, they gave it to Thunder. Now this time they left it again and they take Tiny.
You know what's so strange to me though is that VGJ.Thunder still take the Elder Titan out of the pool themselves with the 3rd pick. You could have had ET Lycan as your first 2.
Yeah. But I guess they're going to go away from the Lycan. They've gone for the Razor Disruptor.
I saw as soon as they picked this Tiny, the camera actually went to ROTK and he made kind of he was like, damn it, they didn't take the Lycan.
Yeah.
Like it looked like he almost like felt that one.
Yeah. Ooh, Tiny Chen.
Well.
Yep. So they're going for the Chen this time. Last game they had Enchantress, this time Chen. I think it's going to be similar kind of style that he's going to do.
It's you take the Enchantress off the table. What are we going to do? Gee.
Yeah, exactly. Now they have. They're probably going to do the same thing. Flex 3 cores that you're not going to know where they're going to go, and
that's so
take some strong supports that work well around them.
Much of a Chen team in the past, haven't they?
Not a crazy amount, but they have played it.
Yeah, Lil's a good Chen. Anything that involves micro.
Yeah. And this is, I mean, the new Chen, like we've been saying, you just get that like triple send back, and the lanes, you get like one favorable lane.
It's pretty crazy. I actually hate that.
It's pretty crazy how good it actually is.
Yeah. So
Brood banned by Thunder. Don't want to get cheesed out, of course.
And I like the VP taking Bounty Hunter off the table.
Do you know what the most played hero by Ramses is in this patch, by the way?
It is Brood.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is Brood.
Yeah, he's 6-0.
Yeah. So they don't want to leave that one
And that's scary to me too, because that gives them, again, it's like it gives them an option late in the draft where they pick a Brood and you know it's going to be Ramsey's mid. Yeah. It totally changes the complexion.
But
of the
they've also aren't these the team that, if I remember right, didn't they first pick a Brood? Or first two pick
First two.
They first phased it. Yes.
Yeah. And then everyone was just like, well,
and it crushed. Yeah,
and they still crushed.
They struck, and this was like deep into ESL One Comfort. They first phased the Brood, and okay. Sure.
They just that was versus what, Newbie, right? And they had Kaka or Shaker mid. Yeah, that was definitely that game. I'm pretty sure.
Didn't Liquid do it as well? Who knows? But
maybe
I think there was a couple of teams that
maybe
did it around about
the point was that
it moved up the draft throughout the tournament. It was one of those that was like, oh, it's a fifth big cheese, and then it was like, oh, it's a mid phase. That's interesting. It's like second phase Brood, where that could be counted, can't it? And then suddenly it was a first phase.
If you remember, like Cinderin and I had like a debate on the panel. At the first phase, on the first day of the tournament, we were debating whether or not you could get away with picking Brood 7th rather than 8th. Yeah. And by the end of the tournament, it's getting picked like second and third.
Yeah, exactly.
It is a hero that you just put out there, and it's like, okay, now you have to adjust your whole draft.
Yeah.
Have fun. Now you have to play our game.
Yeah. And it still didn't get counted. All right, we're going away bans, phase 2.
ROTK's thinking. Oh, look at that shot of that Red Bull in the corner.
Oh yeah, there's your branding. Wait a minute, Red Bull's not our sponsor. Okay, so all right, there you go. This is the mix-up for VGJ.Thunder. The support Naga Siren. This is a hero that's seen very selective play, but it is, since D has hit, it's 23-8. It has the highest winning percentage in the pool. Seen a lot of it in China, seen some of it in SEA. A couple of the EU teams have caught on, and VGJ.Thunder run this hero at a very high level.
Works really well with Disruptor.
Yep.
Of course.
Actually, so I must have been confusing teams. VGJ have only played it once, and it was actually Sylar and Cornaga.
Really?
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
They're not going to play that Cornaga, surely.
I don't know. You know what, though? Would VP be expecting that? I don't think VP have scouted VGJ.Thunder that deeply.
But you would have thought they would have known that they could do this as a support.
I want them to go away from so much greed. I really don't want this to be a Cornaga, I'll be honest here. Especially when they have like Razor and stuff. I think it just...
They know. Look, little cheeky smile. They know. They're like, yeah, we got this.
You playing poker. You play poker right now, Paul. You're reading. I like it.
Just grab the Sand King. So this is that can be one of the cores, right?
Okay.
We still don't know which supports it is.
And a Tide.
Anchor Smash versus Tiny. It's one of the ones that we've been seeing a lot. Any of these base damage reducers.
I'm not going to claim this as mine, but I saw someone type Tide.Thunder when they played this last time.
Tide.Thunder?
Yeah, instead of Tide.Thunder. Because it's VGJ.Thunder.
That's
so
cool.
It's a Tide.Thunder.
I like that.
I like that. It's not mine, but I liked it. Sorry, whoever I stole that from in Twitch chat.
Yeah, he's a decent Tide.
So
this is Twitch chat now?
I think
but not now.
This does pertain a little bit to something that I was mentioning before. Is I wanted them to have some safer heroes that just are less risky, and then team fight. Right here, look at this. This is some team fight right here, and this is just heroes that can actually just take fights quicker. So very good versus Tiny. They just get a net on him. And
these boys love playing with the cameras, don't they?
They have been a lot. I've been seeing them constantly. No one's winking. Ramsey's just poking at his drink.
What's dead?
ROTK is not having it though. He's full serious mode right now.
He is right now. Yeah. He's like, yeah, watch what they pick now. And then when they pick this,
Rubik.
Watch what I pick. Yeah, see, I told you to pick Rubik.
Rubik-chan.
There, see that? He just said, look, I told you to pick Rubik. I'm translating lip-reading Mandarin right now.
Okay, I thought you were going to keep going.
Okay, so
that one. No,
I was just trying to read that. But I mean, I just love
so
how
with the Rubik,
he's so great.
With the Rubik pick, yeah, this definitely can't be a Cornaga. That definitely becomes way too slow.
Yeah.
Right now, because this is now officially a high tempo lineup.
Are they just gonna pick DK again? Is there less hero? There is a Razor. I think maybe not, but they do need something else to force objectives. Oh, that would have been better. Yeah, Luna would have been definitely the best for VP there.
They can still pick TB.
There is still a TB in the pool, huh?
Yeah, and I don't think, with what they have now anyway, I don't think VGJ.Thunder can deal with it.
Is there Dusa too? TB or Dusa?
Dusa's still, yeah, Dusa's a good call.
I think they could do either. Yeah, I think TB or Dusa will be the VP choice.
I don't know.
Could come back for the DK.
With Dusa, if you can somehow shut Tiny down in lane, they could have damage issues. Okay.
Maybe they just pick some self-sustaining hero so that they can run around with the Chen and the Rubik, and then they can have the Pasha playing like this, the Sanking, and they gank for him once, and then move around again, like they did the last game, get him that first blood. Well, last time Ramses did take the first blood, but it was at that.
Medusa themselves. I still think TB is
TB looks really solid here, yeah.
What about Core Venge?
I mean, you know, VP did it at ESL One Hamburg 2 games in a row. Ramses Core Venge. Yeah, I don't see it as a big. Again, I think it's kind of like Drow. You have to for Core Venge, you have to have like a lineup that Venge enables.
Yeah,
Terrorblade. Alright.
It's taking a little bit of time here, though. It's not quite as obvious. I mean, they're one of those teams that do have a plan, and when they have a plan, you notice it because their picks are usually very quick. So they're having to think about this.
I guess they could gyro.
That's what I was. Yeah, I'm like,
I
was kind of thinking it, but it's been a while since I've actually seen the hero have success.
There we go.
All right, they did do it. Because I was looking at like some of their older games when they have these type of heroes, and I was like, oh, okay, this is one that they pair a lot. I mean, it's Rubik Gyro too, so.
Yeah. You're looking at the exact same thing I was.
Yeah.
30 seconds ago.
Yeah, we both were glancing at it.
Oh, so
okay. They're going to come back with the DK. This is okay. I'm going to go ahead and say I feel like this is a much more solid draft from VGJ.Thunder than the last game. I feel like they're super comfortable with all 5 of these heroes. There are much more active synergies between this draft than the last. I still feel like VP is a much better team, but I think this is close to 50-50.
Okay.
So slight edge. Slight edge to VP. I'll have to go VP to play the odds, but
I really like Thunder's draft this time, but I'm gonna go VP as well because I think that this team is actually so commanding. I don't want to be lame like that, but
dude. I'm sorry.
You guys suck.
Do you want me to go Thunder?
Like, he's sitting there going, well, it's 50 VP.
I actually think Thunder won this draft.
I do too.
I think Thunder won this draft, but I'm going VP anyway. Yeah. Like, what are these guys like? What do you see what I have to work with here? Let's send that over to some professionals to bring you game number 2.
Thank you very much, Paul. Yes, game 2, VP versus VGJ.Thunder. I'm only Pixel, joined by Trent. And we've a little bit of a change-up. A Naga Siren coming from. I can't remember the last time I've seen that. It's just a hero that's been very, very just unfrequently utilized.
Yeah, it had a very nice resurgence at Captain's Draft, because, I mean, it's a different pool, and you have to kind of pick around. It's a little more difficult, but she just kept showing up, and people were playing a lot as the position 4, Puppy especially. Yeah. I was kind of bringing that out, too, as like the support Naga as well, and just setting up for lots of Shadow Fiends. In this case, we're going to have it with the Tidehunter, too, so some good setup plays. And they have the Disruptor, too, I believe.
They do there, yeah.
That's like
the
one
Razor
of those
Disruptor.
Classic big combos with the Naga Siren, right?
I mean, the Razor as well, great synergy with the Naga. They've got the synergy.
It's a Naga game.
Yeah.
It looks great. I agree. I love the VGJ.Thunder draft, but I'm not a wimp. I'm going to go with VGJ.
You think that they could sort of show us? I mean, they did have glimmers of hope in game 1, that's for sure, but it is Virtus.pro. They are looking like they are on form this land. Solo's on his Chen, Lil Rubik, Ramses Gyro, one of the classics. Oh, we'll see what goes on here as we get ourselves stuck in game 2, VP versus VGJ.Thunder. Let's see what both of the teams can bring out here.
Look how far Chen has fallen. That Solo's going to play it. A guy, you know, he's always like the poverty kind of guy, never gets law farm at all. Because, you know, what's he do for the first minute? He just sends back creeps.
To see it,
you know, I don't do anything. I just press it on my own allied creeps, send it back to base.
Wow. See how that sort of, if he does indeed go for that play on the top lane, how that sort of affects things for VGJ.Thunder up there. At the moment, they're bringing Yang obviously down to the bottom with the backup of the Naga Siren.
30 seconds.
I feel like Thunder kind of saw what happened to them in the laning stage last game, and they said, hey, that's a good idea. What if we just had 3 heroes that are really hard to pressure and win their lanes and just, you know, hard to deal with? So that's what they've got this time. They have the tricore of Dragon Knight, Razor, and Tidehunter. Whereas also pretty good for the side of VP. You've got the Tiny, you got the Sand King, who does fairly well in a lot of matchups, but Gyrocopter is certainly the most pressurable, I would say, out of the cores in this game.
Sure.
And maybe they can actually find something with some earlier plays from the Naga and the Disruptor.
Yeah, definitely the very early levels, at least on the Gyro. But there's going to be that point, once he hits sort of the 6 or has a few points in the missile and such, where you've got to respect that if you're VGJ.Thunder. If you dive a little too far, if you even try and make a play on another lane, you have to be very wary of the early rotations that Ramses will look to make and make the plays off the back of.
He's also on Radiant side this game too, which is always not that fun for a Gyro. We all know about this dire triangle up near the Ancients. It feels amazing. And even both Ancient camps, honestly, have good spots where you can farm numerous camps at once on the dire side, whereas the Radiant, they don't have that for either of the Ancient camps. So it's a little bit of a downside there. But, VP, they're so good, they'll just obviously take over the dire side, then they can use the dire triangle. That's the real play.
Yes, that's yeah, absolutely. All about the invasion plays. The team of VP. So, as you can see, they were looking out for rampages, and a little bit of a giveaway will be going off if the rampages do occur. We've already had one today, at least on this stream, so we'll see if any happens. Definitely rampage potential this game. I'm looking at the Ramses Gyro. That's a hero where
that would be my pick.
Rampages can come through. We'll see
Maybe
how the game
the
goes
Razor, I guess, if you had to pick one for Thunder, but yeah, I would have to agree. Ramses is most likely. MSI Rampage candidate. So watch out, man. You might get yourselves a nice fresh graphics card.
See the lanes at the moment. Fade hanging around with the mid lane, backing up Sylar, Lil backing up Ramsey. So taking this Gyro towards the mid lane and putting no one again on the side lane on the Tiny. Like both of these players played last time, having Ramses towards the mid. And again, well, I guess this is just, is this avoiding a certain matchup? You just don't want the Tiny against the DK, or?
Yeah, Tiny versus Razor would be the worst possible scenario, I would say. So this is great for Tiny. 1v1 versus Tide is like cool. Like Anchor Smash is very good against Tide. Reduce the base damage, but he can still do well with the tree for last sitting.
Top, nice little bit of a burrow strike from Pasha to break himself out of the field. And will manage to escape that attempt there from Io and Fade, as Fade makes the movement away from the mid lane up towards the top. Send Pasha back to base. Get himself fully regen back up. And Solo, he's going to get the uphill miss. Oh, feels a bit bad for Solo, and he may just go down for that one, as Io will be fine, and Fade takes the kill. RNG not in Solo's hands today.
He's able to run down that gen. That is brutal. Now the one thing is, of course, Tide is getting a better matchup versus the Razor, but it's also compared rather than Tiny is, but the Tide's going to get a lot of farms too. So we'll see how that kind of yourself on those creeps absorbed on the rush. Sylar does survive there, but yeah, Tide should be relatively farm playing that mid game.
Yeah. Up top, Karma. Getting going on here. The control as well with the root. And the creep from Solo. Bringing Karma down low. Pasha will have Burrow Strike back up, but unable to close the gap. It's just the level 2, so it does just have the one level in Burrow Strikes and not the greatest of range, of course, on that spell. And will mean that he can't quite hold him in place, as Karma will be saved for now.
So far, so good from Solo, though. Not, of course, that hero we get to see too often from him. Usually Lil gets to grab those kind, but doing a good job getting some pressure in there. Not quite as successful as Lil was, but also a little bit more difficult with heroes, I would say, this game. And Pasha just cracking into level 3, but Io's still there hanging about. I believe they have a Radiant Ward on him, though, so Pasha's playing very safe.
They do, yeah. They've got the pings out onto him. Now looking towards him. We'll make a bit of a play here as they go in with Pasha. Burrow Strike again. Karma's on the sideline, though, stealing a fair bit of damage from Solo. So they're still trying to get aggressive with the creeps, but he's going to lose his own life. As Fading Karma taken down. Pasha diving in deep for this kill. Will get it, but all the salves himself up underneath the tower hits. Will survive for now. They are going to look for him, but we've got to look down towards bottom because Yang also in trouble. Fade Bolt from Lil will finish him off. Back up to the top lane. Pasha was able to cut his way around the tree line with the Quelling Blade. Karma's still continuing to chase. Pasha may be in trouble if the passive slows him down. Karma, it's the vision here with the Plasma Field, and Pasha will lose his life. So VGJ.Thunder getting the kills, and the aggression from these two, Solo and Pasha, not quite going out as planned. It is costing them their own lives each time.
Smoke instantly popped. It was just like, all right, see ya. Good luck trying to gank my mid laner. And DK was in there very deep too.
Yeah,
He was like up the enemy ramp.
I was going to be careful there. I mean, Solo, he could just go for the solo killer with these creeps. He should have more than enough control, and Io just ends up walking into that one. Solo will pay with his life, though. Solo and Fade make the rotation and take him down. But yeah, I don't think I quite expected to see Solo still hanging around that close. I think maybe under the night vision as well, he may not have seen Chen himself and only just see the creeps.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Yeah. Getting punished for that. In terms of CS, anyone really getting left behind? It's, I guess, it's pretty close at the back of these laning stages. No one getting too punished. I guess with the mid lane 23-4, 27-10. There's that slightly from Ramses, but at the same time he's had a bit more help in the mid lane, so a little bit further behind in experience. Sylar is gonna be getting the better time on his 6, and with that Elder Dragon form, definitely kill potential if he gets a rotation in from Fade or one of the supports.
It's pretty much exactly what you'd expect. The Razor is the one who creates a disparity, Sand King is losing out, but other than that, everyone's just trading evenly. And as I said, that level 6 on the DK is going to be very important. They hopefully get that kill and transfer that into the tower damage, or possibly if Gyro wants to even like do something like that.
This mid lane, Solo, again with these rotations, takes in a couple of creeps. They've got the catch onto DK, and DK is down, opening up the lane for Ramses to continue to keep pretty much top CS. He's basically neck and neck with Yang at the moment on this tie down too. He's having a pretty free farm lane down bottom. Same to be said though for No One's Tiny. In fact, No One trying to get aggressive, but Fade is there to respond to this. Has the control with the root. Yang a little bit low, but Fade, he can look to try and dive this. No One pops the stick charges. That will be enough to force Fade away. Fade can't dive in any further mid lane though. That's where the real trouble is for VGJ.Thunder. The homing missile connects. Again, these wraparounds from Solo and Lil, making it very hard for the mid laners to react. Solo sees the Razor, TP straight out of there, knows that there's no way to cancel it, and he'll get himself back to safety. I mean, Solo, he's dying a few times, but overall it is paying off. He's making a lot of aggressive movements on the Chen. He's been incredibly active.
Yeah, and it doesn't cost a lot for the team either. I mean, you see Lil's the one who's scaling a little bit more, already has his Arcanes, and level 4, whereas I believe still roaming around Disruptor was level 2 moments ago. He's probably 3 at this point, but certainly, you know, AO also suffering a little bit there. Moment and go.
That certainly was
a
short
moment. You know, that's like when someone pauses and says sec, and then actually
they don't mean
it is
sec.
1 second. Yeah, that's a lie. You know, that's like 2 minutes or something.
Yeah.
VP not messing around though.
Very nice pulls there for VP. Enjoy those. 7 minutes, 5-4. Less than a 1k lead for VP.
It's a decent wrap when they get the with the ulti.
Go, cool down by Ramses. Try and back himself away and be behind the storm. Surely this is going to be enough damage. There's going to be a telekinesis from Lil, ripping Karma away, and that will be enough to save Ramses. Keeps the Jaro alive. Very nice rotation from Lil, coming in just in time, as it did look like that Jaro was dead for good.
Yeah, good call to turn back around, coming towards the supporting cast of the tower. And Solo again on a deep mission here, but I see a lot of enemy heroes in the area.
Fade is low.
Oh, the shrine. The value. All 3.
Oh, take the. Oh, have a go on the courier. Can't quite do it though. Fortifications down on the courier. He's in.
Good luck, Solo. He has no TP.
He's got a stun onto one, but Io, he's going to have the control with the Thunder Strike and a potential glimpse. Backups there from Ramses, and in fact with that, they're starting to force him off Solo. Solo will still go down. Can VP get the kills in return? He'll look towards Fade. Fade props the stick charges. Yang's there as well to secure the double kill for Karma. Oh, he still ends up going down, Io. Solo, he gets what he was after, you know. Solo, he just wants blood, and he does find it. This time, it's a little bit messy as a triple kill ends up going the way as Karma, as Lil also gets caught out in the back of the retreat. No one comes in. Look at the combo, able to burst down the Naga Siren, but he also will pay for his sins as Karma's coming through. Will be tossed back. Io's got the control. The glimpse is indeed back up. They'll look towards No One. Karma now unstoppable, as that is the 4th kill in quick succession for this Razor. I mean, this is what we love about sort of these CIS sides. You know, VP, they just go for it. But VGJ.Thunder are more than happy for them to do that with the way that they're being able to turn these sort of plays around. With the control they have, with the Disruptor, with the Naga Siren, it's very easy for VP to be caught out of place, and this Razor to rotate in at this stage of the game, level 9, and having quite an impact.
Yeah,
with his
so
ult up.
a lot of damage right at that fight too. And then Heroes just kept, it felt a lot like that game with Na'Vi with Crystallize the Chrono, and they just kept like coming to his lane and getting 3-man chrono. They were like handing over to the Void. That was kind of like that, where they just like walk into a fight where Razor has already spent 5 or 6 seconds picking up something.
Asher has got a burrow strike. We'll see if he can make any sort of play with it. He's got the Sandstorm, but there is a sentry down, and he is not getting out of this one. Another kill for VGJ.Thunder.
The Ravage being down, mostly pressuring with like buildings and everything will be the name of their game with the Dragon Knight. In terms of like this whole ganking idea, we had a few games today where it's felt kind of awkward. I would say this is another one out of VGJ.Thunder. They basically just have to like walk around with nets and clips that they can only really punish in terms of catch potential here. So a little bit of a slower paced game from them, whereas the VP have the options of aggression. They're going to have a well-farmed Blink, or well-farmed Rubik rather, will probably get Blink at some point because it's Lil. You're going to have Chen Creeps just kind of wandering around, and then you're going to have a Blink SK. So a lot of good moments to kind of just hop in, quick plays, and can kind of expect them to maybe take over the game like that if VGJ.Thunder aren't careful with like how they time their 5-man or if they waste ultimates or anything. But there's that kind of punish that they need. Nice burst strike from Tasha though. Oh wait, wow, how did he get, man, that was like barely in between
the
field
very
to the
side
wall
of that
there.
field. Nonetheless getting away, Lil.
He's on his horse though, he's coming in.
He is. He's ready to try and put a stop to this, throws out the Fade Bomb. Actually able to grab himself the Brief Fire as well, so very nice amounts of wave clear for this Rubik to have, and VGJ.Thunder with the reaction coming through from VP will back away, not interested in trying to force a fight too heavily at this stage of the game.
What a game for Yang, man. He just like TP's mid when this fight's happening, throws up a Ravage, things go well, goes back to his lane. Like, if you guys think you're ever going to hit this tower, you are sorely mistaken.
Look who's trying to invade the jungle again, Solar. He wants more blood. He's only been finding himself a 3, 4, and 4. Sure, he's died 4 times, but he's been involved and been highly responsible for 7 of the 8 kills that VP have got so far this game.
Making that space for someone. I feel like we haven't seen Ramses in quite a while, so he's just chilling in the lanes, heading some neutrals. Got his drums, looking at a pretty standard build there. Looks like it'll just be the old Yasha right into the BKB.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, just get 6. Oh, team. Let's see. So we have Static Storm as well.
Could he set up for some TP
definitely.
play?
Come on, give me Disruptor first, and then Tidehunter.
Is he going to do it? If we got TPs on the others, we'll see if there's the chance for it. Nah, he's out.
I am disappointed.
I was hoping for some song into mass TPs, but
I
wasn't a TP on Disruptor. Okay. They
pimp
weren't
shame.
ready.
Nothing worse than the pimp shame, you know.
No, not the old little wiggle. Not ready. They weren't ready for that sort of reaction. No one. Now picks up the Blink Dagger, 12 minutes in, good timing for the Tiny. We've seen already, if he gets that burst combo down on one, it's going to be a sure death, and they have a lot of follow-up as well.
I'd say this is like the biggest timing for them in the whole early game.
They can start really moving around and getting those kills, VP.
This is why Tiny is just like first pick right now. He's so brutal to play against. He can go in all 3 lanes. He has this crazy status resistance that is just like, it's hard to see it in a lot of these games, but there's certain abilities you just like straight up can't cast on him. You see like a Winter's Curse or something. You know, I remember the first time status resistance came out, Winter's Curse was just happening like every game, and it's just like, if you target the Tiny, it just doesn't matter. It just ends. Absolutely. And so he's going to kind of shadow Ramses, but there was an Observer Ward there, so they saw that no one is hanging around Ramses.
Oh, I know. Solo towards mid. What's he got going on here? He's heading in. They do have the epicenter and the burrow strike towards Karma, but the song comes out from Fate. Puts a stop to it. So if they want to react, IO coming in looking for the position. Doesn't see the opportunity and won't go for it, but Lil actually with the stolen sleep coming in instantly stopped those. It was enough to hold IO in position for the cooldown to connect. They'll take down Disruptor. Burrow strike from Pasha as he looks to split, try and pull the team apart. Solo falling low, pops the global heal. Karma and Yang chasing down the Chen, but they can't quite do it. No one jumps forward, tosses Karma back into the hands of the Gyro. The Ravage comes through, but it looks like it doesn't matter. They've lost a second on the side of VGJ.Thunder. Yang, Sylar, and Fade having to back up. The stolen Ravage from Lil sets up onto Yang. He's surrounded by 4. It'll be more than enough damage for VP to take down the Tide as well. Sylar on the side, with that Shadow Blade, he's eyeing up no one. He is going to make a bit of an attempt onto this. No one falling low, turns with the Avalanche, tosses the DK back into the hands of Pasha and Lil. They don't have quite enough damage on themselves to bring him down, although they have with the help of Ramses. Ramses able to sweep across behind the tier 1. They get the kill on the DK. Sure, they lose no one, but overall, VP, they're just going and going and going. Double kill for Ramses as him and Pasha catch out Fade in the tree line. Ramses now potentially in trouble. Gets dragged back. Karma's TP'd in. Ramses, he's trying to man find him. He's got the back of a solo. It doesn't matter. Ramses will fall, but Pasha does manage to finish off the kill onto Karma. The tower is coming from a solo with the smoke. Jukes out the final right click of the tower. Pasha Sandstorm, he can't get himself out. The sentry is down. Io will get the double kill. There's some crazy fights this game. It is just an absolute brawler between these two sides. I mean, who are we calling coming out on top of that one? Both the Jara and Razor die at the end of it all. It's up and down, it's up and down. It's only less than a 1k lead for VP still. It's absolutely neck and neck, this game. It's brutal.
Yeah, a bit of a wash overall. In the end, it's just kind of bringing us very close, everything relatively even, just kind of progressing the game to a little bit more gold and a little bit more experience onto everyone. And man, Lil, what a player during that fight. Like, that's such a great example about like Rubik and why he's just so insanely good in team fights. Like, if you're a Naga and you throw up a song like that and you only get a disruptor, you might not even be that happy about it. But he just like gets the spell, uses it, they get one pick, and then immediately he's able to steal a Ravage after that. So 2 massive team fight ultis coming out from a single hero. And when you do the math, that's 2 more ultis than the Dire had.
Playing Passion tries with a Burrow Strike. The epicenter commit doesn't get the connection onto Yang. Yang will be able to walk himself away. Coming out for Karma and Aya. Get the chance for a glimpse. They will. Manage to bring about. Oh!
Damn.
The perfect timing from Pasha there. Burrow striking at the same instance as the pullback from the glimpse, and he keeps himself safe. That's a professional Sand King.
I would say so. Yeah. With the stacks I'm used to, so now you can get a little bit aggressive here from VP. And we're nearing that time, 16 minutes or so. People begin to look around the old Roach Pit, think about it, consider it, maybe start playing around there, getting some vision.
So they're trying for Silo. They've dropped down 1 sentry. Do they have another? They don't, by the looks of it. Get the blind stun. I mean, the Shadow Blade is about to wear off, but Silo will head out into the trees and will be able to TP out. Not quite enough detection to catch out that DK at that stage.
Looks like no one's maybe hoping for a bit of a freebie down bottom, but a Naga and now a DK showing up. Not much chance of a kill there for him.
See Io and Yan around again in the mid lane. Sand King, bottom lane Silent. Tossed up. The Dragon Tail stun. Vader's there as well. Towards no one. He's pretty tanky and Silent, not really in the best of conditions to commit to a fight, as he is low on both the HP and the mana.
Yep, sees the Razor up top too, looks like, so not concerned. Everyone just relaxing.
Mid lane, they are going to look to try and go onto Yang. He is very tanky, but no one there as well. Tossing him back into the Sentinel stun. Is it enough damage though? Right, it's not enough. They do have enough burst, they do have enough physical. And with Ramsey sweeping in as well, not only getting a kill, but should have a good chance of taking down a tier 1. Maybe even applying some more pressure if they wish to do so. Right to build though for Fade. Picking up the Spirit Vessel on this arc here at 17 minutes.
Yeah, really not too much else to grab on the hero these days.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you can get like a drums or something some games. Or, of course, we've seen a lot of people try and transition right into that core. You just save up for Radiance if you get a lot of space. But it doesn't look like he's able to find that opportunity this game. Perhaps if it drags up a little longer, we've seen Spirit Vessel into Radiance still happen, but it's this whole idea of having the Shadow Blade on the Dragon Knight and then being able to maybe move around the map and get some picks from that. You kind of build off of that with the Spirit Vessel. Yeah, and you do see Sylar taking advantage of this dire triangle. Yeah, there is splash damage on DK, so still nice. And looks like this will be a smoke. Yeah, 4 heroes. Oh, and a DD as well. Radiant do not have vision on that DD either, so there's no immediate sense that this is happening.
I mean, Lil's not necessarily the biggest target to open on.
No one's so close behind him.
No one would be a dream one to open, but no one actually with his own invis will immediately blink out, dispels the smoke, and off the back of that little movement, VGJ.Thunder unlikely to get a surprise initiation. Revealing himself to the tower. VP will prepare themselves for this. The question is if they want to try and take this fight.
Yeah, Chen just kind of scouting with the creeps too. Don't really have a great option to deal with them. There's no way to just like instantly burst them down or anything, so they can still provide a lot of vision with any real risk to the side of VP.
A gift from the
So VGJ.Thunder will back away, unable to really get the catch that they were hoping for.
19 minutes in, you haven't taken the tier 1 tower mid as a Dragonite lineup. Even with a Razor, a Tidehunter, a Naga Siren, these are supposed to be scary heroes at this point that put this threat as to all of your positioning. You have to be worried about every single step you take. You can never be too close to someone. You all get songed and the fight's just over. But maybe VGJ.Thunder just playing a bit reserved, not able to get the vision or something for those plays, but they are not feeling confident in their abilities to overwhelm the side of VP, and that means they only have 1 tower with Dragonite at 19 minutes.
Still very close in terms of the numbers. 15-13, 1k lead for VP. No one. Vision onto Karma. Is out on his own though, so won't try and make any sort of play. Solo. And Yang. Now looking towards Ramses. Yang has the 4-star, so a little bit more slippery for the side of VP to deal with. BKB very nearly complete for Ramses, so at that point we could expect to see VP get even more aggressive, if that's possible. We've seen already. These guys want to fight. BKB and Jara should feel not necessarily invulnerable if the Razor still gets a good static link off. They do have a decent amount of physical between the Razor and the DK punching into it. But if he can sort of keep his distance and trust in his team to have the control to dispatch the Razor, he should be feeling pretty strong at this stage, 20 minutes in with that BKB complete.
It's a lot of pressure on Yang too. You know, he is either find this perfect Ravage, or he needs to try and wait it out, but that takes forever for the BKB. So ideally, perhaps we could find a play from the side of VGJ.Thunder where they can isolate the BKB using the Naga Song, but obviously easier said than done. So
I like this though, smoke into Roche from VP.
Good ward by the Ancients as well, sentry there too, so spot any sort of Shadow Blade play.
Will Thunder know that this is coming? You have the Sand King showing towards the mid lane. Pasha does get glimpsed back again, able to dodge himself out of kinetic field.
Yeah, the Naga gets in there.
I think they're starting to sense. Yeah, here we go with the song Fade. Looking to close the gap. Look at the speed. VP actually able to keep themselves out of range. Solo will be caught out by it. They'll turn towards the Chen, look for the easy kill, and they'll get it. Solo's down. Ramsey's now popping the BKB, looking to turn. Karma's got his own BKB out there as well. They put the homing missile onto Io. Io slapped out by no one. Yang trying to commit, but the avalanche comes through into the toss. No one able to hold him down. Lil's there with the telekinesis. There's no chance for any sort of Ravage to come out with the control that VP have. They have lost 2. Sylar's still got the BKB in the Elder Dragon form as he heads himself up to the high ground away from Pasha. It's a 3 for 2 favouring VP. Roshan still standing at half health. And certainly could have got a lot worse if that guy was able to get the Ravage out. Well, it is going to get a lot worse for VGJ.Thunder as they will also lose Karma as he's chased down by no one, Pasha and Lil. 4 heroes for VP as they only lose 2 themselves.
Yeah, the only bright side is they can't really do anything at this point, even though Roche is relatively low. I don't think they want to go back in with these 3 heroes. They'll just kind of eye it up and hold the point until Gyrocopter comes back. But the Ravage is still up. They didn't get a chance to use it. The Naga is very low level though, so there won't be another song yet. But there is definitely still a chance that both teams come back to engage here.
Look at Lil. With the stolen static link,
very nice.
Will steal himself one over the right.
Now
That's a 300 damage Rubik. At 22 minutes in, that is quite a surprising case. Could be committing the most of this Roshan attempt. Oh, look at that.
He's chunking him.
Those green balls of fire. Slapping down Roche.
I think he deserves the Aegis, I would say at that point.
Give it to him. Ramses will take it. On the jar.
Such a bully.
3 kills.
Oh, is that an Aghanim's Naga ICQ'd up? I've seen this a couple times.
He's at it cute. I mean, we'll see if he commits to it.
Well, if he ever gets there. That's the other part of it. But
sure, it's going to take a lot. Oh, here we go again. Oh, nice and easy, plus 100 damage. Thank you very much. Clean up a camp or 2 with that. But yeah, the Aghanim's Naga, so having that heal against this lineup could certainly be pretty. I mean, having these 2 heroes, the Rage and the DK, they're already going to be very tanky. I mean, the Tide as well. Yep. You can sort of buff them up with that
and it
percentage heal.
Based,
yeah. So it is nice on these sort of high HP cores.
If you think about it, like after a Gyro ulti or after an Epicenter, it kind of like not only is going to break that combo up from maybe like a Lil follow-up or something like that, but being able to just negate all of that damage would be nice, but it's a long time coming. It's unlikely it's even going to play a big factor in this game. For now, we are back to just objectives.
Pasha focusing in on the Yule Scepter. Ramses continue to beef up a little further after the BKB, upgrade the Asher to SMY, and he's pretty much got it. A few more creeps and it'll be there. BKB now being worked upon by no one after finishing the Silver Edge.
Beautiful Silver Edge game too. All 3 cores you can have an impact on with that.
Towards mid. VP leading in, jump ball from Pasha, first strike onto 1, that has to be the backup for Yang, but is it enough? There's a homing missile connection. In fact, Yang, he's already going to get taken down. Ramses moves in with the BKB in the Rock Broad, takes down 1, telekinesis from Lil, holding Silo in place, then with the flat cannon, cooldown, will not connect onto the Silo, able to get the BKB and time, healed up as well by the Spirit Vessel from Fade, and now they look for the turnaround. Static Storm comes out onto Ramses, with the BKB already committed, Ramses falling low, Ramses kept alive though, Hand of Gods there from Solo, he'll survive, and now VP going to continue the fight. Ramses coming back in on minimal life, because he has the Aegis, will get popped by the Ravage. That's going to be Ramses down once. VP still confident in the fighting potential that they have though, as they move in, find a third, Fade and Yang the last 2 left alive, and they're almost certainly going to go down as well. Double kill for Ramses as he picks up Fade. Tide is down as well for 65 seconds off the fact that he comes back into that engagement. A huge team fight win there for VP. They're ready to shove down mid. Just those little things, Solo getting the save, protecting that Aegis for a little bit longer, making it that much harder for Thunder to take that team fight. I mean, fighting into this Gyro's Aegis was always going to be hard for a team that was slightly behind in terms of their item progression, and now VP are allowed to threaten the high ground.
Everything looks so good for Thunder. I like the way they're positioned. I feel like they're forcing a good fight, have all these tools to use, the Ravage, the Song, but Tide just got bursted down.
Yeah.
Had no way, Kraken Shell could not go off. And so he just dies. And without that Ravage, the key opportunity, he's to buy back, and then it's much weaker Ravage. His Ravage killed the Aegis. Like, that was the biggest contribution. So,
I mean, it's feel like a game where maybe the Tide has to get an Eon Disc or something, because he's just not getting the chance to open up fights. They want to put him in on the front line.
With that Silver Edge.
Die.
Yeah, I don't know. Certainly a game where you could look at and say they might have missed their window for VGJ.Thunder. Again, the fact that they just got so few buildings, any sort of pressure down with DK that early on, kind of does not bode well for the rest of the game for them.
There's a full pipe on Solo now as well. So, yeah, the damage certainly going to be an issue for Thunder when they try and take these team fights. There's no doubt about that. That's all. Lil starting to rack up a bit of money in his own bank. He queues up his own Aghanims.
Surprise Solo so far.
Yeah.
I guess the barracks just coming in too, that definitely helps, but you know, he's just a guy who's used to seeing it like 2K net worth permanently.
Sure. This is definitely up there on the all-timer records for Solo. He's loving life. I mean, as you say, not
26
minutes.
Not
a hero we've seen the most.
That's true.
That's pretty good for Solo's bank.
Pasha has been kind of crazy too. I wouldn't have expected him to get so farmed, but he's now looking towards the bots, so he can just keep pushing waves and just give no chance any sort of a comeback for Thunder through that sense. And he can still just join fights by botsing into something, especially with Chen's on your team. It's always nice to have Chen creeps when you fight.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And you know, Solo being Solo, you know he's going to have those in great positions to just set up for the Sand King, get him straight into the tree lines at the side of a fight, so Pasha can find the chance to rev up that epicenter.
The worst thing here, though, is if you're VGJ.Thunder, you have to find a fight. It's just,
You do.
if you're just chilling back, nothing's going to happen that's good for you. You have a Gyro and a Tiny who are farming, a Sand King who's farming, a Rubik. Like, they're all just getting richer. You can't really keep up at this point. You need to get some engagement. But that engagement has to come at a Wombo combo. And then when you use that Wombo combo, you're then vulnerable. They don't have these cooldown issues on the side of EP. So maybe even if you win some fight, it might even end up being a net benefit for you. Maybe you can just straight up march back down one of your lanes when everything's unavailable for you in the next fight. Ooh, Gyro with a 50 move speed as well. He's so fast this
Look
fight.
at this opening. Pasha comes in with a 2-man burrow strike. Static Storm will be laid out, but Pasha's already able to get himself out to the sidelines. No one with the combo blows up the Disruptor. That'll be 1 kill. BKB pod, but Kama has got the static link. Moving in, he's going to be able to steal a fair bit of right click from no one, and he's bringing the Tiny down fairly low. VGJ will continue to chase it, but there's the send back from Solo. Gets Nohu on back to safety as Thunder, despite their best efforts, unable to punish for the fact that they do lose that Disruptor. And they've got to be careful. VP still ready to sweep back around and look to potentially go in for more. An MKB done now on Sylar's DK, so he has got a fair bit of punch himself, but it feels like they really do need the full 5-man. It's so hard for them to take a fight with just the 4 of them, so they'll almost certainly have to just respect this push from VP, back up, and VP, 28 minutes in, will be allowed to take another tower.
Yeah, it's one thing, bots are amazing because you can just engage through a Chen creep, but when you get sent back during a fight like that, and just instantly you're back in, you know? Oh, at least they didn't commit any big ultimates from the side of VGJ.Thunder, but it really looked like they were just going to get like 2 kills for themselves. But VP able to assess that, hey, we're not going to win this fight, but we can kind of retreat, pull back, send people home, and we shouldn't lose anything. Very nice tactical retreat from them.
Yeah, 14k lead side at this stage. Have the blink dagger on Yang, so maybe we can see him find the chance for these opening ravages that his team require him to find. And he absolutely needs to. This Jara is going to be, well, he's already become a big threat, but now with the butterfly done as well, that's a lot of right click coming out from Ramses. And also makes life a little bit harder for Karma, at least to take down. There is the MKB on Sylar, so that will certainly help if they can lock down the Jara, but they have to control Ramses. They have to find some way of jumping in on him and making sure that the backup's not there from VP.
The BKBs are so brutal.
Here we go. There's the Blink Ravage reveal. It's a good opening as they get onto Tuba with the status resistant. No one able to get the BKB out pretty quickly in response. Oh, the setback! Oh, gets Ramses back just in time. He was falling so low. VGJ still find big kills though. They do get no one, and they do move over to solo as well. So VGJ.Thunder still able to find 2, but that very nearly could have been 3 there. As Ramses very lucky to keep his life intact.
That Chen value of this game has been absolutely unreal. I know there's no way. Like, and you saw this poor Disruptor. He's throwing up Static Storm.
Oh, look at this now. Ramses has come back in with Pasha. VGJ.Thunder.
And they have
still having to fight here.
They only use kinetic.
This looks to be a big mistake from VP. Lil's down. Pasha grabbing up the epicenter, comes in. Oh, it's a big one as well. Look at this damage. Oh, ultra kill for Pasha.
Give it to Pasha.
They give him the rampage. Come on now. They're chasing down Karma. The homing missile connects. They're going to kill this man. I think he's going to be able to get a rampage.
Give it to him.
Come on, give it to Pasha. Give it. He's trying to give it to him. He's got it. Rampage for Pasha on the Sand King. It looked to be a mistake from VP, but that magical damage these two could kick out together set up something quite spectacular. What a rampage.
Oh, get in there, folks. The MSI Rampage giveaway.
Rampage.
He's delivering.
Giveaway.
Thank you, Pasha. What a hero. He's doing it for the people.
We didn't expect the Sand King to do it.
No, he was not on our list.
No one ever expects the Sand King to get a rampage quite like that.
Oh, it's that perfect time of the game because he's crazy levels, and everyone's still, you know, not that tanky, I guess, on the side of VGJ.Thunder after one fight's already happened. You know, they're all just kind of get low on the HP. Comes in with the cleanup.
That was insane amounts of damage from Pasha.
And now he has the +4 pulses as well from talent too, so it only adds up from here.
And if that didn't shake up VGJ.Thunder, I don't know what will. This is going to be hard for them. There's now the pressure onto the high ground. It's an Aghanims complete on Lil. Fade. Looking for the setup. Got
It's
IO.
like the first time this whole game we've seen this, and it still doesn't matter.
Did you have a decent amount of damage here, but again, the sendback is there. Ramses is back to safety. VGJ.Thunder, they want to try and catch someone. They may get solo. He's running, but the gush does connect. I don't know if he's getting himself out of this one. Blink 4 from Yang. He's got the body blocks. Solo will be dragged back by the glimpse. And another death on the chat. Oh, it's the least he can do for his team here. Everyone else is able to get out. No one. Already on the hunt yet again. Looking for Sylar. The opening. And he does have a Sand King nearby. Ooh, the Burrow Stroke won't quite connect. They do get the dust out. Sylar will live. Lincoln Sphere. And it's going to be a little something that Pasha treats himself to after that massive influx of gold off the rampage.
Oh, the cliffing.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal. But at the same time, he does get the static link on. So with that in mind, no one doesn't actually have the physical damage to finish off Karma, and he will be able to force himself down off the cliff of the Hurricane. But oh, the stolen glimpse! Lil! He gets the drag back! Oh! What a play from Lil! I mean, VP,
I'm just gonna
they're bringing out
twice.
the big guns.
Don't mind me.
He's looking for another one. He's got it back up in 10 seconds. He wants another cheeky little catch. This is a full minute without that Razor. Karma does have buyback, granted, and he may be forced to use it. As VP, the full 5-man up. Roshan is there, so VP may just look to take this time, play it safe, get the Roshan, get the Aegis, get the cheese, and maintain this lead that they do that.
Yeah. Again, it's hard not to look at this game and think like, you know, how much more did VGJ.Thunder need to get done that early game? We never saw that beautiful setup. We didn't get our song into our static storm with our kinetic field. The first time it happened, they already had BKBs. You know, that's the point we were at, so no real time to shine.
I mean, the dream is for the Ags on the Disruptor, but I imagine that's a long way away.
No.
Right, that's, yeah. Pasha.
He just did it again.
He just did it again. Yeah. He dodges the glimpse back.
And then
he's got this
Disruptor
down to
gets glimpsed by Rubik.
Oh dear, oh dear. And now look, Pasha, he's just going in for more. Jumps in, and with the setup into the Avalanche, they're held under the cover of the cooldown. That's going to be fade down. Sylar will put the BKB, looks towards Ramses, and down to half health. And they actually get the kill though. Karma coming in as well with the BKB, goes down in and got to know, but get these sent back. Solo gets this Tiny out of there. Pasha comes back forward with the Burrow Strike. There's the stun onto the Gyro. Ramses will be taken down once. That's the Aegis gone. Can they do it a second time? There's only 3 of them. VGJ, they're surrounded, but Ramsey's still got the BKB, and Pasha's back in with the epicenter. Jumps on top of Sylar. Sylar has to buy back on the DK. Lil, Ramses, and no one. They'll surround Karma on the sidelines, take down the Razor. And Sylar looking at getting the kill onto Pasha. They commit the Ravage, and they will get it. But Pasha, he buys back straight away. He boosts and travels in to join his teammates. There we go. Lil, oh, have you ever seen a Dragon drop a Ravage? I've never seen that. That was beautiful. Lil with the Elder Dragon form into the Ravage. I mean, this game is over. You just got absolutely styled on. If a dragon does that with his tentacles, you just tap out and you say, that's enough anime for me. My goodness.
Well, he knows it. He's looking very satisfied.
I mean, VP's just another day in the office.
Yeah.
What a game. I mean, that was a bit of a showstopper, that one. VP. They certainly showed us some flashy stuff.
Yeah, the last time I saw a team get that completely screwed over by Chen sendbacks, it was fountain hooking. I mean, that was brutal.
That was so many times.
Unbelievable. Every time they were going to get a kill, every time they were going to get back in this game, every time they made a movement that looked positive for their team, whoop, just gone. He's out of there. And they had the Razor. They had that purge potential, but every time they were BKB'd or the Razor wasn't close enough, they didn't get that lucky proc. You know, a lot of it's RNG. Nothing. They couldn't catch a single break. Every single hero escaped. You know, if Chen could send himself back, he would have been gone too. He was the only one dying.
Yeah. Definitely one of those games where I think for VGJ.Thunder, you just throw your hands up and you're like, all right.
Or just get stopped.
What do we do against that sort of play from VP? I think, I mean, as you say, the Chen, Solo bringing it out and doing what he did, incredibly aggressive.
Very impressive
I mean, Solo's been having a great day today. We've seen him have 2 very solid games. I mean, if you're a team going against VP now, as you said, we've got to be very
Enchantress,
consider about
Chen.
Get
him out. You know, I don't want to deal with either of those 2 heroes.
Yeah.
VGJ.Thunder, they missed the towers. That was like step 1. That was like, we didn't get the early tower pressure. We couldn't get that in there. We didn't get rolling. Okay, but step 2 is then you have to win that Roche fight. And they couldn't win that either. Like the big song, we had the Ravage, we have the Static Storm. We have to win the Roche fight. Like, how can we possibly lose the Roche fight? And they didn't win the Roche fight.
Wow.
So, and then of course, the Rampage.
The Rampage. The Dragon Knight Ravage from Lil. I mean, we added all this game.
That was a fun one.
What a great way to end the day. Yeah. But of course, we're not ending the day quite yet. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. That is it from me and Trent. 2-0 VP take the series against VGJ. To wrap it up, we'll be able to hand you back to Paul and the panel.
Thank you very much. You know, when a Predator get holds of some prey and they play around with it a little bit, that's basically what it looks like in Dota 2. Virtus.pro winning 2-0, and as Zodi Pixel rightly said, with a bit of styling thrown in game number 2 as well. Let's find out how impressed Fogged and Nahaz are with that performance from Virtus.pro. It's pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah, solo Chen. That was pretty awesome. Those sendbacks were clutch over and over again.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, I don't even know how many it was. I'd like to say 7, 8, but it might have even been more saves than that.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at some of the replays, and I know there's some highlights in here that you both really enjoyed in this game as well.
Especially Alan. Alan like got up and he's like, "We got to get that one going." Like,
I was sprinting back to production on multiple instances. I think it comes down to something that we mentioned in a different context during the draft, and that's that great teams have this next level that they can turn on and elevate their play. And I mean, VP, this was a sloppy first 15 or 20 minutes from VP, and I think the Chen sendbacks. Part of the reason that the Chen sendbacks were so key is that they were playing a little bit loose, and the Chen sendbacks saved them from giving up more than they otherwise. Like they fed an ultra kill to a Razor at 8 minutes in.
Yeah,
that's actually like not easy to do. This is the play right here.
So he gets the triple kill, and then they get the tiny when he goes in. And this was just, I think this was VP playing a little bit.
Yeah,
they were having a little bit of fun because you can see, look at their positioning. Like Pasha's top, like no one was bottom in the river, and then he's like, oh wait guys, I'm on my way. Like I'll come help you too. So they were definitely doing like some one by one running in here.
Oh, and yeah, I mean here's no one, and he's actually gonna Disruptor's just gonna TP in to help set up this kill. But I think the Chen sendback sort of limited the damage, and also the fact that, as we said before, VP are a team that look at all 5 of their heroes. All 5 of their heroes push lanes.
Yeah.
So that even when you lose a fight, VGJ is not turning that into towers. And this Roche fight, Trent mentioned this so aptly in the post-game recap. Like, this is a fight that with your lineup at this point in the game, with a little bit of a, not a lead, but at least level, that's a fight that you should win around Roshan.
Hey, if Naga wasn't changed, that sleep would have caught them. But it's that level 1 sleep is very small radius, so he wasn't in range to catch them there. And this fight here was, I think, the most commanding one for me for VP. They kill the Tide instantly. Believe we see the Tide buy back, and they still get 5-0
this is your most commanding fight? Oh, I don't know.
I mean, I think this is the one that they. This is where they like. You know, they throw a buyback on the Tide and they kill 0 people. They only kill this Aegis off the gyrocopter. This is, I feel like, the one that should. I mean, yeah. No, we're going to see the one later. That
in win probability terms, this is the fight where VP just sort of took a stranglehold on the game. I agree with that. I agree.
But the other one, of course, is the most. Yeah, I mean,
that's one of the most remarkable. Yeah, the one coming up is one of the most remarkable plays I've seen recently.
Yeah. And it was looking like Thunder was actually going to get off to a good comeback
this
after
is absurd.
This is 2v5.
But this is 2.5 v5. Like, Rubik barely comes in and dies. This is 2v5, Epicenter, Flak Cannon, call down. I don't know how they did this. It's unbelievable.
That bait, though.
yeah, all right.
And look at Ramsey's bro. Ramsey's bro at the very end gives him the rampage.
And they just spam pinging him. Whoops, whoops. No, it was really impressive. And then this is like another style. Look, the Elder Dragon Ravage. That was great. But I think that was Thunder's chance back in the game up top. They set up, they got a decent Ravage. The send home again saves the Tiny, and then they go back in and they just wipe the whole fight. Or they send home on Ramses, and then they go and re-engage and take that whole fight with the 2 heroes. It's literally all happens though because of those sendbacks. Otherwise, that instance doesn't happen.
I think this to me though has to be the prototypical you tip your cap kind of game. Yeah. You didn't play badly, but you got outplayed by a team that's one of the best in the world.
VP played
well,
so
unless you're Knoxville. Shout out to Nox for being a noob.
Oh, actually,
I said earlier, they're going to take on a top 3 team in the world. I think pretty fair in that assessment over the last few months. Nox says they're not top 3 in the world.
I found out Nox's real name, or his first name. I didn't know he was Bernard.
His first name is Noob, isn't it?
I didn't know it was Bernard.
Oh.
I got to work with the guy, so I'm going to go ahead and stay out of this conversation.
He's getting a hard time, but shout out to him for all the useful stats and info that he gives us throughout the day. And also, a big thanks to JJ as well on the Observer machine today. Good stuff, yet again, from our boy. Let's wrap things up. Let's talk about the brackets and go through exactly what's happened today, because there's been a lot going on. We've had Group A matches playing out, as you can see on your screen right now. Team Secret, if you're a Secret fan right now, you're very happy, because, good news, they're in the final 6. However, they still have to play Virtus.pro in the upper bracket of that Group A, which will decide which team goes directly to the semi-finals in the playoffs. So that's a big game between those two. The loser of that still goes through, but will start in the quarter-finals of the playoffs. So we know 2 of the teams. The 3rd team will be joined from the lower bracket, which right now sees VGJ.Thunder, Complexity Gaming going head-to-head, and Fnatic possibly versus VG Gaming. And I say possibly because they're 1-1 right now with SG Esports. Wow.
You want to talk about an upset.
That would be a huge upset.
Again, when we looked at this group, Vici Gaming, I'll take the sword here. Yeah. Vici Gaming was my pick to finish 3rd in this group. And they have not looked like the team that showed up at Captain's Draft, really. You could say all you want about sort of alternate format event, but they looked like a team that was legitimately on the rise.
But they've also finished 2nd in 2 other tournaments this year as well. So it's not like they're out of form or something. They've been playing well. Yeah. Let's take a look at Group B. Have we got Group B? There we go. Team Liquid right now, very, very happy after their opening win against Penta, who will drop down to the lower. Na'Vi likewise beating Evil Geniuses. TNC winning the SEA battle against Mineski.
I didn't think that was going to happen either.
And Newbie winning against LFY. So that's your upper bracket semi-final, which will be tomorrow. Liquid versus Na'Vi, very much looking forward to that one. TNC versus Newbie, also looking forward to that one. And our lower bracket matches right now to stay in the tournament. Mineski versus LFY to stay in the tournament, and Penta versus EG. Things have got really mad already.
Yeah,
folks.
this is a really good group. I was you talk about. I was really nervous for Mineski going to this event because looking at their replays, they've really looked uneven. LFY obviously just one of the bigger disappointments to me overall this season. They just haven't put it together.
Sure. Expectations though, isn't it? We expected more from them.
The big question though is that newbie series to me, because if you look at what's happened today. We said that in the two groups that there were sort of a clear top two in both the groups, and 3 out of those 4 teams today clearly held serve. And so if Newbie can take care of TNC, I thought Newbie didn't look as convincing as I expected against LFY. I think if they hold serve, I think if they really emphatically do well against TNC tomorrow, we've got our clear top 4 for the tournament.
Yeah, okay, all right. Let's take a look at that schedule for day number 2, because we've got matches coming up for you tomorrow. We'll start things off with Penta versus Evil Geniuses. That is to stay in the tournament. It's a best of 3 between those two. Liquid versus Na'Vi will be our middle game. Like that one. And TNC versus Newbie, just in case you wanted, a little bit more fun with the SEA boys going head-to-head with China. So 3 fabulous games to look forward to.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the latter portion of the day. I think the first one, okay, cool. I mean, I'm an NA, as an NA, I'm hyped for EG, sure. But I like these other. These other games are going to be.
That worries me a little for EG. Like Penta is Penta is a much better team than Dog.
Yes,
absolutely. So I said, oh look, yeah, that's going to be a straightforward. Why would we do that game? Because EG are going to. And then we went, oh, actually, maybe they won't because that looked particularly good.
Penta is a team that they're not going to beat one of the top 3 teams probably. But if you're not Liquid, Secret, VP, and you show up and you don't play your best game against Penta, I think they can beat you.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's a banana skin, isn't it, for EG, because they haven't been playing so well. They have had to do these changes. They're still trying to find their feet. It's the worst possible team to play in the lower bracket right now.
Definitely. That's kind of like the wild card, you could say, because this team just switched their mid player. They've been adjusting. They're now learning more from this tournament. It's like EG needs to really step it up.
Yeah, they should come through. Quick highlight of the day. What's been the moment today? What have you enjoyed? That last game? Or that last play?
The 2v5. Yeah. I don't know.
Hey, come on, give them credit. 2.5 v5.
It was amazing. VP, you expect them to make those kinds of plays, but at the same time, when they happen, that's really cool.
They're magical, aren't they? Yeah. That's what makes Dota so special. Fogged?
I'll change it up because it was the only game I caught to cast was Kaka's Bounty Hunter.
Oh my god!
I thought he actually played it super well. So
yeah, he did. It was a great game. I think he finished higher on net worth than the entire opposing team.
Yeah, yes, that's why. So a highlight for me wouldn't be Newbie, but it would be Kaka.
Yeah. Kaka.
I'll go with that. Yeah.
I just didn't feel like the other 4 on Newbie played that well, but Kaka was so.
Kaka played incredibly.
I just want to congratulate both of you as well. Well done for being the professor of economics and not having to answer any cryptocurrency questions from Blitz today. That's well done.
God.
And congrats on at least surviving half of your glasses today, Fogged.
Let's see. They actually are.
They've kind of held on. Oh, well, let's close the show quickly.
It's a bad show, guys.
Before the glasses break, let's quickly cut to a break. Guys, let's go. Thank you very much for tuning in on day 1 of ESL One Genting 2018. We'll see you tomorrow for more Dota 2.